Hey 5OF fam, this is Melanie from 5 Oaks Farm. Today we're going to be taking a little bit of a pause before the storm of gardening season begins. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through a little bit of garden prep that I've been doing here around the farm. I have been pruning, I have done our first till on our garden, I have ordered seeds, and I have a plan in place for all the other plants that I am not going to be able to grow myself this year because we lost our greenhouse during Hurricane Helene. So this year is going to look different. Every single year looks different, and this year is no different in the fact that it looks different. So the storm of the garden season is upon us. This is that little calm season between our winter projects and summer hits where we will be super busy in the garden. All right, I'm not a pruning expert, and I don't claim to be. I did a whole lot more research on my first pruning because that's the most important one. The first year I did what's called crowning on these peach trees. So what I actually did was I took the tree and I chopped it in half that first year. So now I have a nice crown. You can see the points come up in all directions. And now basically what I want to do is I want to make sure that that crown, the center of the crown, stays open. So anything that's growing towards the center, I'm cutting it out. Anything that crosses another branch, I'm cutting that off. And any of these lower sprouted branches that came up off the trunk, I will take that off as well, and I'll just take off some of these lower ones as well. The fruit's all going to be up higher. We want it to focus its energy on these big main branches. Sometimes things are questionable and you're like, is that one I take or not? I kind of just tend to take it if it looks questionable. This one here is growing towards the center. You got it. And then there's a bunch of more little twigs coming off over here. I'll take them off. We want it to focus on its main. Now these are some of the ones that I'm like, I'll take this one and this one. This one I'm not sure about. So like I said, I'm no expert. So I may or may not leave that one. We'll see. There's something super special about this time of year. It's a time full of anticipation and excitement for the new garden season. It's a time that I look forward to. The planning of the garden is one of the funnest parts because you get to think and dream up all these different things that you want to do this year. The hard part is implementing everything and making everything you want come to life. For example, last year, one of my main focuses that I wanted to do was build this trellis. And it was good, but this year I want to make it even better. I'm changing what I'm planting here this year. I did pumpkins last year. This year I decided that I'm going to be doing my cucumbers over here. Cucumbers are a huge crop for us. Pickles are one of our absolute favorite things to have. And my cucumber vines always go crazy because I have so many of them. So I decided, you know what? This trellis will give me a few extra feet of growth, so I'm gonna move them over here. Pumpkins, I'm just let them go wild over there on the side of the pasture like I always do, and that has worked. So every year we improve, we make changes. That's one thing that we will be doing this year, and part of that planning process is my favorite part. I have flowers that I have planned. I've picked out new flowers each season. This year I'm going to take on calendula, and we're going to grow more coxcomb. I grew my first batch of coxcomb last year and I absolutely loved it. And so I've actually picked a breed that has a longer stem for doing vases, cut flowers in, because that is one thing that we do sell some of, is our cut flowers, and everyone loves it. And even if it doesn't sell, I love having it around. So I'll be doing more of that this year. As you've seen on some of our previous videos that we posted, we have already done our first till in the garden, and that is great. I am going to be doing another tilling and getting my peas in. It is a little bit late, but I was a little bit late getting my order in for my pea and sugar snap pea orders that I like to do. One of my absolute favorite places to order from is Baker's Creek. There are lots of places that you can order from. I particularly like Baker's Creek because they're all heirloom and you get a fairly quick turnaround. I've never had an issue with their seeds germinating, so I just like to stick with what I know, and I know is good, and they have a very good price point, plus they have free shipping. That is a huge one for me, is having free shipping, because sometimes I've gone onto these other sites, competitor sites, and the seed packets are a couple cents, maybe $1 more, yes, okay, and then I get to shipping, and the shipping is astronomical, and I just don't want to pay that for seeds. So Baker's Creek for me is the way I like to go. I already told you guys I am not going to be doing as many starts from seed this year. I'm only pretty much buying seed for things that I'm going to be direct sowing into the soil. I will not be starting a lot. I kind of take that back a little bit. I did start a small tray. I decided to do a small jiffy tray of some of the things like herbs that my supplier that I already mentioned. I'm going to be getting a lot of my stuff from a local nursery. They have herbs, but they're in single trays and they're a lot more expensive. So I've decided I'll do my herbs myself by seed, but I will be getting my tomatoes and peppers and eggplant and a lot of those things that need to be started really early that you would normally do in your own greenhouse. I'll be getting that from a local nursery that we have here in our area. So I just want to give you that tidbit of information about a good place to buy seeds. There are so many of them. I think I've actually already mentioned it before this season. A lot of places like Johnny Seed is good. There's, oh gosh, my mind is blanking. Park Seed, So True Seed, Baker's Creek, my favorite. Let's see, what else is there? Gurney's is one. There's so many that you can order from. And if you don't want to order a lot of things and you want to be able to look and see everything and get your hands on something, if you're someone who doesn't want to look at a catalog and you want to physically hold everything and look at each individual packet, go to Tractor Supply. They have it too. I think their main supplier is Burpee. They have organic and non-organic seed options there. Try it out, look at it. Start small, start with what you know, and grow from there. Pun intended, grow from there. In previous years, I have tried to keep track of everything that I've grown using a journal. I've also am very non-type A, I guess that's type B. I'm one of those people that I just kind of wing it and do what I want and hope for the best. I'm very much like that, even in my garden. But I have, because I scale so large now, I do try to take better track of what I've done. I have actually referenced my journal a few times this year to see when I started certain things last year and like what went well and what didn't. Because I can remember, oh, I liked row 2's beans better than I liked row 1. What was it that I had in row 2? So I have referenced back to that, and it's been great. This year I am switching things up and I am going digital. I've never done that before. I've always really been a pen and paper type person, but I'm gonna try and make a digital schedule this year. I am using Seed Time. my brain lately, guys, there's a little bit of a lag. I'm using Seed Time. They have a free option for planning out your garden, and I have spent time, I've spread out myself on the living room floor, and I've spread out my seeds. I've got my little laptop and my catalogs, and I go through and I look at what I need, and I enter it in on the thing. You enter in, you know, your zone and all the things, and then you type in what you're starting, and it'll tell you when to start it indoors if you're going to be doing that, and then it also tells you when you need to plant in the ground. And then when that thing is done, you can hit done. It's really cool, and I think it'll help me this year because I do very often get behind. I'm like, okay, I need to do that tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and I'm like, oh, dang it, I forgot to do that. I need to do it tomorrow. And things get pushed off week by week. That's one reason my seeds were started so late with me ordering my pea seeds. It was because time just gets away from you. At least for me, it does. It gets away from me so quickly. I get focused on homeschool or just surviving the day, and things just slip through the cracks. We've also had a little bit of extra drama as usual with our family, with some health stuff and some other stuff going on, and so my mind has been in pure survival mode. Let's just get through this month, let's get through this week, and you know, the garden falls away because it is still cold. We did have a false spring last week and it felt amazing, but it's back to cold this week, and I'm ready for real spring to get here, because that false spring was a definite teaser, and I'm ready. I am so ready. So spring, we are transitioning from winter to spring, and spring is the beginning of the garden season. As I've mentioned, it's a big time for us. The garden on our homestead is our main source of food. We have chickens, and we have our breeder pigs, but we are not actually processing meat yet. We do get the eggs, obviously, but our main producer is our garden. So our whole schedule and our life pretty much revolves around the garden and preserving what comes from the garden. Fall spring has come and gone, but the real spring will be here before we know it. That is the calm before the storm. It is upon us. I can feel it. This chaos of garden season is almost here. All right, what are you guys planting in your garden this year? What are you excited about? Thank you guys for spending time with me today and listening to me get excited about spring and enjoying this little bit of calm before our storm of craziness gets here. We'd love to hear from you. Please make comments down below. We really would like to hear from you guys. I love hearing everybody's stories, and I'm actually going to give a little shout out to Judy. Judy has been here and always makes comments, and I love you, Judy. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the 5OF fam. This personal shout out to you for always leaving me a comment and making me feel good. But I love when you take the time to actually make a comment on YouTube. So thank you, Judy. And I hope you are doing well. Thanks guys for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us for more garden chaos. It is almost here. I'm excited. Hope you're as excited as I am for garden season. We will see you guys on the next one. Those guineas are coming back. Those guineas are the vein of my existence now, and I can hear them creeping closer and closer and chirping. Don't get guineas. Just don't get guineas. They're the worst. I used to love them. Now I hate them. Don't get guineas. It's here. It's here. Why do they gotta honk? That was a good one too.